After many traders get liquidated, the first thing they do is not reflect on themselves. They blame the market. They blame the platform. They blame the whales. They blame the sudden spike. But the cruel truth is this: many liquidations are not caused by the market suddenly killing you. The moment you opened the trade, you had already put yourself on the road to liquidation. The market only pressed the final button. What really pushed you there was your position size, your leverage, your margin, your stop loss habit, and the most dangerous sentence in your mind: it should bounce back soon. The scariest thing about contract trading is not that it makes you lose money. The scariest thing is, it gives you an illusion. You think you are still trading, but actually, you are already waiting for the system to judge you. You think you are holding the position, but actually, you are pushing your account closer and closer to the liquidation line. You think you still have a chance, but the system only looks at one thing: is your margin still enough to support this position? If it is not enough, the system will not discuss with you. It does not care whether you are almost back to break even. It does not care whether you just added more margin. It does not care whether you believe the price must come back. It will only do one thing: forced liquidation. That is liquidation. Many beginners have a wrong idea about liquidation. They think liquidation means losing all the money. Not exactly. Liquidation is not normal loss. Normal loss means you can still choose whether to cut the trade or not. Liquidation means the system chooses for you. With normal loss, you still have control. With liquidation, your control is already gone. Whether you click close or not no longer matters. Whether you admit you are wrong no longer matters. Whether you can accept the loss also no longer matters, because your account is no longer allowed to stay in the game. So the real horror of liquidation is not just how much money you lose. It is that you are kicked out of the market. Many people can recover from a normal loss, but once you get liquidated, you may not even have the next chance. So why does liquidation happen? You must first understand one basic logic. When you trade contracts, you are not using $100 to buy $100 of value. You are using a small amount of margin to control a much bigger position. That is leverage. For example, your account has only $1,000, but you open a position much larger than $1,000. The platform allows you to do this, not because it believes you are a great trader. It allows this because there is a liquidation system. Once your loss is about to eat up the required margin, the system will close your position in advance. Why? Because the platform needs to make sure your loss does not become bigger than what your account can cover. So the real meaning of liquidation is not simply the market went against you. The real meaning is your account strength is no longer enough to support the position you opened. This sentence is very important. Many people are not bad at reading the market. Their account is too small, their position is too big, their leverage is too high, their stop loss is too far, and they still refuse to cut loss. In the end, even a normal move is enough to break them. Remember this line: liquidation does not happen suddenly. Liquidation grows step by step. Step 1, you see high leverage. Step 2, you feel you can open bigger lots. Step 3, you feel this setup is very sure. Step 4, you increase your position size. Step 5, the market moves a little against you. Step 6, you do not want to cut loss. Step 7, you comfort yourself. Just wait a bit more. Step 8, you add more margin. Step 9, you start staring at the liquidation price. Step 10, the system takes over your account. This is the real path of most liquidations. It is not caused by one single candle. It is caused by a chain of wrong decisions. Many people like to ask, I was right about the direction. Why did I still get liquidated? Because being right about the direction does not mean you can survive until the direction plays out. This sentence hurts, but it is true. Your direction may be right, but your position is too big. Your stop loss is too tight. Your margin space is too small. Your leverage is used too aggressively. Before the market has time to move in your direction, it only needs one normal pullback, and you are already gone. Many times, the market does not deny you the opportunity. Your position structure does not allow you to wait for the opportunity. A real trader does not only ask, where is the direction? He first asks, can I survive normal volatility? If I am wrong, how much will I lose? Will this position damage my whole account? How far is my liquidation line from normal market noise? If you do not think about these things, you are not trading, you are gambling. Now let's talk about one thing many people misunderstand. high leverage does not always mean higher danger. The real danger is using high leverage to open a bigger position. 100 times leverage, 1000 times leverage, 2000 times leverage. The first thing they change is margin requirement. If your lot size is the same and your stop loss distance is the same, your actual loss mainly depends on your lot size and price movement. It does not mainly depend on the leverage number itself. Professional traders use high leverage not to max out their position. They use high leverage to use less margin and keep more free margin space. But beginners do not think like that. When a beginner sees 2000 times leverage, the first thought is, can I open bigger now? That is where liquidation begins. In the hands of a professional, high leverage is a tool for capital efficiency. In the hands of a beginner, high leverage is a liquidation accelerator. The same knife can be used by a chef to prepare food, but in the wrong hands, it can cut the person holding it. The problem is not the knife. The problem is how you use it. The correct order for opening a trade is never to look at leverage first. The correct order is risk first, stop loss second, lot size third, leverage last. Many people do it completely backwards. They first look at how much leverage the platform gives. Then they look at how many lots they can open. Only after losing money, they start thinking about stop loss. That is why they will eventually blow up. You cannot let leverage decide your position size. You must let risk decide your position size. For example, you have a $1,000 account. You decide that one trade can only lose $20 maximum. And your next question is not, how much leverage can the platform give me? Your question should be, how far is my stop loss? If the stop loss is 20 points, how many lots should I open? If the stop loss is 50 points, do I need to reduce the lot size? If the stop loss is 100 points, is this trade still worth taking? This is a trading plan. Without this order, every entry is just emotion. Many traders who get liquidated actually know they should stop loss. They know it, but they cannot do it. Why? Because their position is too big. When the position is too big, stop loss is no longer a technical action. Stop loss becomes mental torture. If the loss is only $20, he can accept it easily. But because the position is too big, one stop loss becomes $200, $500, or even half the account. He cannot click it. So he starts looking for excuses. He says, this level should not break. This must be a fake breakout. I will exit after a small rebound. I will add margin one more time. I will remove the stop loss to avoid being hunted. Every sentence sounds like a reason, but actually, every sentence is a warning sign. Before liquidation, what really causes liquidation is not that the market never gave you a chance to stop loss. It is that your position was so big, you did not have the courage to execute the stop loss. So the first step to avoid liquidation is not learning a more complicated strategy. It is reducing your position to a size where you can stop loss calmly. If you can cut the loss calmly, your position is still within your control. If every small loss makes you panic, your position has already exceeded your mental limit. There is another liquidation killer many people ignore: mark price. Many traders stare at the chart and say, price has not touched MY liquidation price. Why was I liquidated? Because the platform's liquidation rule may not only look at the latest traded price. You are watching many contract platforms use mark price, maintenance margin rate, and account margin ratio to judge risk. You are looking at price. The system is looking at risk ratio. You think there is still a little distance. The system sees your margin is already not enough. That is why some people feel they were liquidated early. But many times, they were not liquidated early. They simply did not understand the platform's liquidation rules. So before trading contracts, you must know which price triggers liquidation. How is maintenance margin calculated? How does isolated margin trigger? How does cross margin trigger? Will funding fees affect equity? Will extreme volatility cause slippage? If you do not read the rules, but still dare to use high leverage, that is not courage. That is driving on the highway with your eyes closed. Now let's talk about isolated margin and cross margin. Isolated margin is not always safe. Cross margin is not always dangerous. Isolated margin means the risk of that position is more separated. Whatever margin you put into that position mainly supports that position. But the problem is, if the margin you put in is too small, the liquidation line will be very close. A normal price movement can take you out. Cross margin means more funds in your account can support the position. The liquidation line may be further away, but the problem is, if you have no stop loss and no position control, one big mistake can drive down the whole account. Isolated margin is like a small room catching fire. Cross margin is like the whole building connected to a gas pipe. if you know how to use them. Isolated margin can separate risk, and cross margin can give more space. If you do not know how to use them, isolated margin can liquidate fast, and cross margin can kill the whole account together. So the mode is not the key. The plan is the key. After getting close to liquidation, many traders do one thing. They add margin. Adding margin itself is not always wrong, but you must understand this. Adding margin is not risk control. Adding margin only pushes the liquidation price further away if your trade logic is already wrong, if your direction is already invalid, if your position is already out of control, and you keep adding margin. You are not managing risk. You are keeping a mistake alive. A professional trader will ask before adding margin, is the trade logic still valid? If the logic is gone, adding even $1 is wrong. Is the position size still reasonable? If the position is already too big, you should reduce position, not add more money. Is the risk still inside my original plan? If it has already exceeded the plan, then this is no longer trading. This is emotional damage control. Many people keep adding margin, thinking they are saving the account, but in the end, they just send more capital into the same liquidation. Before liquidation happens, there are usually warning signs. The first sign, you start avoiding your account. The second sign, you start removing your stop loss. The third sign, you start adding positions to average down. The fourth sign, you start looking everywhere for news that comforts you. The fifth sign, you start staring only at the liquidation price. The sixth sign, you no longer care about the trading logic. You only care whether you can hold it back. Once you enter this state, you are no longer a trader. You are a person waiting for judgment. A mature trader will never wait for the liquidation price to remind him of risk before opening the trade. He already knows, where do I exit? If I am wrong, what is my maximum loss? If I lose, will I still have the next chance? If every trade needs hope to support it, sooner or later, liquidation will teach you the lesson. So how do you really avoid liquidation? Not by predicting better. You cannot be right forever. Avoiding liquidation depends on trade structure. First, single trade risk must be small. Never let one trade decide the life or death of your account. Second, position size must match the stop loss. The further the stop loss, the smaller the position. Third, do not go full position. Full position is not confidence. It is having no way out. Fourth, keep enough free margin. Free margin is your breathing space. Fifth, reduce position size before major news and data, because that kind of market is not normal volatility. It can jump, it can slip, and it can destroy your margin in seconds. Sixth, do not add positions emotionally after losing. The more you want to recover fast, the easier it is to go to zero fast. Seventh, before every trade, ask yourself one question. If this trade is wrong, do I still have the next chance? If the answer is no, you should not take that trade. At the end, remember this, the contract market will not become gentle just because you worked hard. It does not care how long you have been losing. It does not care how badly you want to recover. It does not care whether this trade is your last hope. It only looks at the rules. If your margin is enough, you stay. If your margin is not enough, you are out. Liquidation is not the market punishing you. Liquidation is the final bill for disrespecting risk for too long. So the most important ability in contract trading is not always being right about direction. It is staying alive when your direction is wrong. You can lose, you can be wrong, you can stop loss, but you cannot put yourself in a position where there is no next chance. Because the cruelest truth in trading is this: profitable traders are not always right, but traders who survive will never allow one trade to destroy the whole account. Follow me. Next episode, we will talk about why in contract trading, the more you add to a losing position, the easier it becomes to get liquidated.